Use the Types, Episode 5. Simple site with static content. We now have the beginnings of a useful development environment. We're going to build on this by taking our existing Snap-based Haskell web application and we're going to make it serve a static web page. So let's open up our terminal and get our starter app. Put it in a directory named Snap Hello World. And we're going to grab a snapshot of the source code from GitHub using this URL here. We'll initialize the Git repo, we'll add the source files to it. As a recap, you can see that main.hs is our absolute basic Hello World program, and we've imported some modules for Snap, etc. Let's start up VS Code in that directory. And there we go. Before we continue, I wanted to say a few words on the subject of indentation. So for my Haskell code, as you have seen before, I like to use 4 spaces of indentation. As you can see down here, spaces 4. But for HTML, JavaScript and CSS, I prefer something more compact, specifically 2 spaces per tab. So let's configure it to indent these formats while leaving 4 spaces as the default. So we can go to File, Preferences, Settings, which is also Control Comma. Close that down for now. We click on the ellipse here to allow us to open settings.json directly. You'll see over here we have our top level user settings. I'm going to paste some configuration into this. So I've got a comma at the end of the previous line, and then I've got 3 entries, 1 for each file type, CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and I'm setting editor.tab size to 2 for each of those. So let's save that. If you have files already open of those types, you may need to reopen them for these changes to take effect. Whoops. Alright, close those 2 tabs. So let's open up the integrated terminal with Control backtick, and we're in the Snap Hello World directory, and we're going to create a new views directory and an empty HTML file in it. So mkdir views, and we'll create an empty file, views/html with the touch command. You'll see over here VS Code detects the new directory and the empty file, which we can open up. And all being well, there we go, indentation is set to 2 as our setting specified. And we're going to create some HTML in this file. So I've got some here. We're just going to create a very simple HTML document with head, title, body, hello world. Pretty basic. So now we have a static file. To serve that static file, we'll need to modify main.hs. We'll open that up. That's still indented with 4 spaces. Excellent. So we have overloaded strings already. Great. We're importing most of the modules that we'll need. And all we really need to do now is modify main to use the quick HTTP serve function, which I think we've used before. And for the top level root, use if top serve file and views/index.html, which is the path to the file. We'll save that and we'll go back to our integrated terminal. We can do stack GHCI, start up GHCI. There we go. Resize that so we can see a little bit more. Serve file was not imported, so I missed out an import statement. That is available under snap.util.fileserve serve file, like so. Save it, go back to the GHCI, reload. There we go, it compiled that time. We can start the server using main. So it's now listening on port 8000. We'll fire up our browser. It's been a while since I opened my browser, so I open it, hoping it's in a decent state. Great. And we can go to localhost, port 8000, and there's our hello world. Just to prove to ourselves that it really is serving that file, we'll go back to VS Code. Whoops, accidentally started a second instance of it. That's not what I wanted to do, but whatever. I think over here we can choose, there we go. We'll change HTML to put a body in here. This is a paragraph. Fix the capitalization, save it. Notice how I'm not reloading the Haskell code. Go back to the browser, refresh, and it's serving the changed version of the file without restarting the server. Okay, see you next time.